I just wanted to make the skeleton farm, and I'm currently being harassed right now by phantoms. Please, leave me alone. Huh, I'm just trying to get content out for my viewers. Huh. Dead. Where did all of these guys come in? He came out of nowhere with a sword, and that's not fair. Put that down. Bad. Oh my god. Okay. Phew. There's a lot of wee men around here too. There's 1, 2, 3, 4 wee man. Okay, awesome. So, hectic intro. Oh, I guess I looked. We're not ready for the intro yet. Okay. Hectic intro, but welcome back, everybody, to episode 13. I hope you all are having a wonderful day. Let me get down in this hole. My day is going exceptionally well, and I am so excited to get started on this skeleton farm. If I could just get down here. Oh, thank you. That was the most abrupt intro ever. But with that being out of the way, today is the day, everybody. We're going to start off by throwing down a beacon, and we're going to go to each of the spawners, and we're going to mine out the necessary sized room that we'll need. And then we're going to go an extra further step, and we're going to mine them all down to what the lowest Y level of this one is going to be, because it's the lowest spawner. And then what I'm going to do is drop them down, have them go through their own individual water chambers, and then they'll come up, and then they'll fall, and they will die in the middle, in between the tracks right here, which is going to look, I don't know, super cool. And no, the beacon isn't for instant mining, but it is definitely gonna make mining out each space for those 3 spawners significantly easier. So, if I can have it down, I'm going to, of course. And with that annoying amount of blocks taken out, and the appropriate amount of ore blocks placed down, we now have a beacon. With haste 2. No, we don't. Do we have a beacon now with haste 2? There we go. Perfect. Like I said, it's not going to be an insta-mine, but that is way better than it was before. Now, the initial plan was to come back in here and mine all of this, maybe talk about some boring stuff in between. But I think you should know me better by now at this point. We're gonna mine all 3 of these spawning areas out in the form of a third-person time-lapse. So let's go! Awesome. That did not take too long at all. And now that we have each of the rooms dug out to the appropriate height, which is Y24, what we're going to do now is, if I activate these spheres, what these are is a 16 by 16 radius around the spawner. So it is its spawning sphere. And what I need to do is come in here, and I've already kind of decided what blocks I want to do, and I need to make out an area where they can drop and they're not interacting with this bubble, because what it'll do is if any skeletons are within inside of this 16 by 16, whenever it goes to do a check, it has the chance to not do it, and there can only be 16 skeletons spawned in at a time with near a spawner itself. And then directly in between this one and this one, there's a singular block. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to drop them to where they converge in a water channel, And all 3 of them are going to meet up somewhere around here. And then they're going to come up, go forward, and then I'm going to have them fall down right here to where they continue to be outside of the spawner range and die, so that it can continue running at peak efficiency. It won't matter to which ones are loaded in by me. It only matters if they're within range of the actual spawner. So leaving these 2 bubbles on, the first thing that I'm going to do is actually come up to the wall. And I think I'm going to have... I think I'm going to have them drop right here. So I'm actually going to mine a good little bit into the wall. And this will be where I have the skeletons brought up at. And then they'll come over and fall and drop. So what I need to do is mark the coordinates of where this one is. So it's at 960 negative 3148. Awesome. And this will be the block I need to come back to whenever I'm doing my other water chambers. So we are over here at one of the spawners, and what we're going to do is come directly underneath it. We're going to mine down 1, 2, and 3. 1, 2, 3. We're actually going to go down 4 because I want to be able to mine 3 across. And then we're going to go until we get to the cross section point of where we need to be. So it's 960 and then negative 3140. So where are we headed to? Okay, so we're on the Z axis right now, and we're actually almost there. Okay, it is this block right here. And then we're going to turn them and go 5 blocks this way. Come on. 6 and perfect. And that's where we need to go for this one. Now we're going to connect up the other 2. Over at the next guy, we're going to do the same thing here. We're going to go down 1, 2, 3, and 4. We're going to start heading to those coordinates. So I will head to the 3148 first. So I see that this way is going to make my Z strength. So I'm going to go this way first with them. And I'll do it too high and then just go back through and get that top block. All right, 2 more. Okay, so now we need to go to 960 on the X. We are not too far away from there. I really hope this turns out good. It's happening right now. Something is not right. Oh. Okay. So what did I do wrong over here? Oh, I see. I didn't finish taking this tunnel to 8. So this one is going to be in the correct spot. Okay, so I need to bring that one over here. Cool. Well, I'm glad that I did that, because now I know that I messed up. Whew. See, there would have been our first mistake. The tunnel's not meeting up. Now we just go back through and get rid of this 3rd layer of block right here. And the reason I'm doing this is because skeletons are slightly taller than all other mobs, and they tend to do this thing when they bob in water, that they like to get stuck in certain spots, like corners, or at the very end right here where we're going to put a soul sand block and where is it? We're going to put down a brick wall. It's going to make them come, and they're going to bump up and go on that soul sand and then shoot up the water tube. But if there's blocks, they'll do this thing to where they bump their head and then they don't actually go up the water chute. Alrighty, and now we are at our 3rd and final guy. Let's come right underneath him. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And we will start heading to those coordinates. So I need to go this way on the Z. Oh, I mined into a cave. Probably going to mine into a cave quite a few times on this one. So let's just continue this way. And we know now that we're going to 3148, not 3140. So I won't make that mistake again. Oh, I need a hoe to mine this efficiently. I was like, what? I was about to ask, because I'm like, guys, what tool am I supposed to use here? Okay, well, that was convenient. I only had to... Did I just dig straight? I did. I just dug straight down and went, okay. Well then. So let's see what kind of tubes we got going on. So it's going to go this way and then turn, and then this way, and this way, and turn. and then down and straight. And they will meet up in this spot right here, which is not lined up with any of them. Perfect. And they'll come up, go over, and drop down and die. Awesome. Next thing that I'm going to do is up top here, I'm going to mine down to where our tunnel is. There we go. And then I'm going to place down a temporary block. This is going to end up being our soul sand. And then right here is going to be that brick wall. And if you'll notice, we just go straight up. So water is going to come down this path. It's going to get them to this point, and they're just going to go straight up onto the soul sand block and want to bump up. And that'll happen on all three sides if I replace it with the wall as well. Perfect. And then, oh, that was too many blocks. Let's replace those, and perfect. And then now we should be able to get the water streams in. And we will start on this end down here. So the way I'm going to do this, which probably isn't the most efficient, is I'm going to do water, of course, pushing them along. And then when it comes to these little slow intersections, I'm going to rely on the mobs themselves to keep themselves going. So I'm going to put down like another sign, water bucket, and then what I'm hoping is happening is they'll get to a certain point, cram up, and then push themselves over to continue going. If this doesn't end up working out, I will come back and replace all of the flooring on these tubes with packed ice. That way when they touch the water, they start immediately moving faster, and it'll kind of just help them along their way into the next water chain, hopefully. And this should be the last bucket for this one. So hopefully they'll drop in the water, come down through here, get flushed about, get pushed, and then get pushed up onto the block that's right here, which will be soul sand, and that'll shoot them up to the top. Perfect. That is all three waterways placed in. This guy's done, and then this guy is done. So now they all link up to where it's going to be the same bubble column. You can already see we kind of have some skeleton guys spawning in over here. You guys stay right there. You'll be meeting your fate soon. Now we can start working on the tube that we want them to fall down. And the height doesn't really matter. If you want them to be one hit, you'll do 21 blocks, or I think it's 22 blocks to put them at half a heart. We can take them up as high as we want and drop them as far as we want because we want them to die from fall damage on impact. So I think what I'm gonna do is get the coordinates of where I want. So I know I want it to be right here, I'm pretty sure. Hell, we might as well go one more over because want to keep it symmetrical. Let's see what we got going, and then I'll take down the coordinates of where we are here, even though this is just kind of like a general whatever of blocks. I'll do the one that's lined up with the path, of course. So we are standing at 968 and negative 3,148. Perfect. We'll enter that, and this is where we need to come back over to when we build the path up. So we'll start doing that now. And while I have you guys trapped in a hole with me, I want to mention the slight rebranding the channel has undergone. I hope you guys like it. We have gotten up to what I'm going to say is the desired height, and now we just need to go forward to 968, so 8 blocks forward. And ooh, running into a bit of a cave system. That is totally okay. We can patch it up as we go. We're closing in, and this is the block that we need to be above, but of course we're going to want to mine out the whole area down here, the whole 2x4, because we want to be able to see the skeletons drop as they come by. And the way I'm going to do that is they're going to come straight along this tube, and then I'm going to fray it out at the end, and the water will just kind of push them any which way, and that way it'll kind of look cool when they fall down, instead of it just being a straight drop of skeletons. So this will kind of be the basic concept, and then I could even go as far as placing another sign down and getting rid of this one. Yes, it'll be pushing them towards the walls, but it's spread out to where whenever they come through, there'll be an edge here, so they'll already be getting pushed, and hopefully that'll just kind of encourage them to fall off. I'm really hoping that they don't just start stacking up here. If they do, we can always fix it. And I actually think I'm gonna go ahead and get rid of that, because I want it to be to where this water is facing this way, to where it's pushing. Yeah, I'm thinking we're gonna have to fill in the walls and then just accept it as they come, because I don't see that working out very well. I definitely see them getting stuck, and I want no part of that. And let's also make sure we get rid of this top layer, because like I said, they like to bob and get stuck for no reason. They're one of the most annoying mobs ever, besides creepers, of course. And now the painful process of breaking all of this glass, not glass, ice, but it's totally worth it. So if you place down a bunch of ice blocks, you don't have to use water buckets. If you break these without a Silk Touch pickaxe, it'll just turn into a solid water source. It's a really quick way of getting water down without having to have a bunch of buckets on you. And I learned that from Ethos Lab. Perfect. Now we have a bubble column elevator, and it works just like it should. And then it'll start pushing us along, and then we'll go this way, and they will fall. And I think I am going to go back through and replace all of the paths with ice blocks. I don't know if that's going to do anything, but it'll mentally make me feel better. I'll do that once we have the farm done, though. Nice. That is a decent sized tube. And I don't intend for it to fully kill them dropping from there to right here. This isn't where we want them to die and their stuff get collected at. I want them to drop past us and go into the floor a little bit. Which I know that tubing is right there, so we can't go down too much more, but it's only going to be a few blocks. And then the stuff will get collected, and with this very tight limited space we have right here, which I might actually get this stuff to get transported over this way because we have more room. I'm gonna have to construct what's gonna be the auto sorting system to get rid of armor and to get rid of other stuff that I don't want. I think I'm gonna keep arrows, I'm not positive on that. And then I need to make it to where it's automatically sorting out the bones, turning that into bone meal, and then going from that into bone blocks for compact storage. Now I have that dug. This should be plenty of blocks to kill them. I had to go literally right above the waterway, and what I'm going to do is they're going to die. Their stuff will go slightly this way, and you can ignore this. This is all free space right here. And I'll end up having a hopper unloader that'll spit the items out this direction. So we will end up doing the auto sorting system over here in this area. But now we are able to come in and start placing down some glass. I'm going to change the way all of this looks in the future. I want to make it to where we can come in here and flick a lever and all of the farms activate. So I'll have redstone lamps in each of the rooms controlling them. But for the time being, the only thing we're really going to get done pretty wise is this room right here where we're going to be riding on the minecart in. I do want this room to, of course, be finalized and look pretty. I look like a pincushion now, but hopefully everything should be in order. If I come over here, we can do our first official test run of this. I just need to get going on the minecart. I've set all of the spawners up. I have set all of their water paths up. And I set up the killing chamber. And then all that's really left is kind of finalizing the design. And, of course, getting the sorting system set up. So we're already seeing wonderfully right off the bat that this is the only one so far to spawn anything in. I wonder what's going on there. But we at least know it's working. They're going. They're coming. And we get to watch them die right here. But we want the other spawners to do something as well. Okay. So it finally spawned some in. Okay. And then this one spawned some in. That's good. That's good. This is not good. Oh, this other one finally spawned some in. They're taking their time. They're finally making their way. I'm seeing I'm probably going to have to get those ice blocks in because they're not going as fast as I want them to up to the bubble column. And I need them to be moving a lot faster than that. So we're either going to have to update the way that I'm moving them through, or we're going to have to add some ice blocks in. Of course, this is all troubleshooting. It's what we're here for, baby. But we know the concept works. I am getting them spawning in at all 3 now, which is what we want to happen. And then they're falling and they're dying. I just need to be getting rid of them faster than what we currently are right now. I wonder how we're going to work that one out. Like I said, I know I want to put ice down. From there, I haven't figured anything out. Give me a few seconds to canoodle. But it is working. So in terms of that, I'm pretty happy that we got it to at least kind of start working. Oh, perfect. And then if you could just do it in front of me, that'd be nice. And then if you could go next, that would be nice. If only that's how the game ideally worked. Well, it's awesome though. It's awesome. At least we got this far with the progress. And we have them coming over. And once they're up here and they're out of range of the spawners, it doesn't matter how many skeletons are near them. Once they're within a certain spot, it doesn't matter how many skeletons are within that area. Awesome sauce. This is great. Alrighty. I have come up with is probably going to be our only solution for getting them to move faster, because as it turns out, I'm a complete noodlehead. And ice does nothing for mobs. So what I did was I lowered where the soul sand block was at. And then instead of giving them the option to push each other, now it is continuous streams going directly to the soul sand block. So they have no option but to move where I want them to go, which I think is ideally perfect. So now if we hop back in the minecart, we can give this test run number 2. Hopefully with slightly better results. I'm also seeing that at some point during the drop, we're going to have to add in a lava blade, because there will be certain mobs that have feather falling, and I wasn't able to make this tube go any lower. So we're going to have to definitely add in a way to get rid of those mobs that are surviving with half a heart, which is probably what he's sitting at right now, close to that. So as you see, this works much better. They're spawning in, they're being forced along instead of being given the option of like, oh, whenever I spawn in and choose to. I forgot to get rid of those blocks. And then up they go. Perfect. We just need you to activate, mister. I am within range of these two a lot longer than I am that one over there, so I expect them to be working a lot more, but that doesn't mean that he can't. Awesome. So I'm seeing I'm going to have to come in here and get rid of some of the signs and replace them with solid blocks, because he should not be doing that. We still have gotten none from this third guy over here. Hmm. I would say I'd slow myself down even more, but I'm already barely making it through the water as it is. Oh, there we go. He finally went off. We don't want it to just be a double spawner because we could have done this much more efficiently for just a double. We really want to be able to get the skeletons out of this third guy as well. Tisk, tisk, tisk. So bringing the spheres back up again, you can see how I have the cart laid out. I go into it here at that point, travel along, and then come back out on this side, which should be plenty of time for it to be activating because it's basically the same amount of time that I'm in the red one, and it's been activating plenty. So I'll definitely have to be troubleshooting around with that a little bit more in between episodes. Because I want to get this one out, of course. So I want to try not to focus on one thing for too long. And as long as we have at least 2 of them running and we know this one runs sometimes, then I'm going to consider it partially working until we can really figure out why this one has decided to not work. I don't think it's... Oh, you know, it could be it could totally be light level. Let me see if this has anything to do with it. In a nutshell, I'm gonna say we basically fixed the third one. I think it's because this torch was lighting it up too much. I'm noticing some inconsistency still between all 3 of them activating, and it's not supposed to be every time I pass them that they activate, but they should definitely be activating more than this. I wonder if it has... No, it doesn't have anything to do with the block that I have above because these are spawning in just fine. I know I have the area lit up well enough because there's no skeletons. So it checks a 17 by 17 by 9 area. And if there's any mobs within that, it won't allow the skeletons to spawn. But even these guys down here aren't within range, so I am not sure. Oh, okay. It finally activated. It just took forever. Cool. And they're coming through here. Okay, and then this one finally activated. Okay. And then this one activated. Okay, cool. That's what we want to see. We want to see them all activating around similar times. It's just all up due to random generation and game tick. And then we'll get this kind of cool view right here in the middle of them falling down once it starts happening. Maybe a little bit more satisfying than one skeleton at a time, please. Where did all of my skeletons go? They're just very slowly making their way. There's way too many holes around here. That was a really big struggle to get up there. At least we know it's working. Okay, cool. Now I just need you to activate so I don't look like a wiener. And we're definitely gonna have to add in that lava blade because I've been coming down here and clearing them out, but quite a few have been surviving that have on armor. And we don't want that to happen because after a while they will build up and of course it'll stop the rates of the rest of the farm. They're not within range. Actually, they're not within range. It won't matter how many are here, the farm will continue to work, but I want to get rid of them because we don't want a bunch of skeletons down here that have armor on them, of course. We are back and with some exciting progress. I took a little break, probably about a half a day at least, to give my brain a rest because I was just trying to canoodle it way too hard. I was overlooking an obvious answer. And then someone gave me a comment on my last video and it blew my mind because it was like, wow, why didn't I think of that? So I have done naturally what I always do and put something together over in a creative testing world. So let's go take a look at that. So here is the basic concept and it is super simple. The person said instead of going through a continuous loop, why not just completely stop myself using a timer on both ends? And I thought that's genius, because using hoppers, they transfer an item every 0.4 seconds, so you can take blocks and convert it pretty roughly to the exact time you want. So 35 blocks exactly is going to be 14 seconds, but I've put in there roughly 38, maybe 40, I can't remember. And what this does for me is it'll send me along. I will be here for roughly 14 seconds, and then this will flop back over and it'll send me again, and they're opposites right now. That will stay powered the entire time I'm over here, and then when I flop vice versa, you'll notice this one turned off. Now I'm going to sit here for 14 seconds, and I'm within range of the other two spawners. Isn't this wonderful? Isn't this the most, like, greatest thing ever, and it's about to hopefully solve, like, a majority of our problems? This makes me so happy. I love that person so much. That comment was so great. It really saved me. So, back over in the survival world, to get that implemented, we're just going to go through here and get rid of all of the water and rails, like so. And then, of course, we're going to do it on the other side. And how I'm going to do this one is I'm going to set up the redstone how I had it in the creative testing world. And then I'm going to start on one side with the timer. And then when I get over here, I'll place down the blocks inside of the other timer. That way it can be kind of synced up with each other, if that makes sense. I'm hoping it'll work. I have also taken the time to come in here and add in a lava blade, and it works beautifully. It catches them on fire exactly like it should. Here's a guy with armor. See, he took a little longer to die. He took a little longer to die. So there are some that are dying directly from impact, and then there are others that the lava is actually kind of acting as a cushion, and it's keeping them alive a little bit longer. But all that really matters to me is that it's burning the guys with armor to a crisp and fully killing them, which is important. Heading back over to the base for a quick memento, we're going to have to gather up the redstone stuff that we need, which honestly isn't a lot. It's 4 sticky pistons, 4 hoppers, 4 comparators, 4 pieces of redstone. I think you get the idea. I feel like I haven't been back over at the base in so long. It looks beautiful over here. And this right here, ladies and gentlemen, is everything that we should hopefully need to make our world go round. Well, except for these guys. We don't need him. Ignore him. Another thing that I need to do before I get into the, I'm going to say, final process of building the collection system is I want to go to the 2 spawners that didn't drop down quite as far as the third one did, and I want to drop them down 9 blocks to get them completely out of the way of the spawner. I might not. I'm still trying to decide. I also want to know, why did I build the portal over there, but every time I come back through it, it puts me right here? That's annoying. I mean, free obsidian, you know, cool, whatever, but annoying. I guess we will come over here and do it first. Starting from this block, we're just going to do 4. And then go back 2 more. So, like so. Mine these out really quick. Okay. So here's how I want this to work. It's going to be repeater there, which means sticky piston and sticky piston. And then I'm automatically having a brain cramp. I want to come behind them like this. I want to be able to put down redstone. And let's get our hoppers out. It's going to be 1 there. And then go like that. And then we'll break this other one. And then going into it. Awesome. And then take our comparators. Not there. We want it going out from behind the hopper. And then we'll do building block, and then we need some redstone dust. Redstone dust behind, and And then we'll do you here. And then now we just need to get the appropriate amount of blocks. So 30, I'm gonna just do 40 for both sides. And then we will, let's put it in there. Yep, and then I'll deactivate it. And then now I just need to build this exact thing on the other side. Now I have it set up over there, and here's how we're gonna do the timing. I'm gonna let it send me. And then when I get over here, I'll add the blocks in myself. I did that on the wrong side. Hold on, I gotta figure this out. All right. All of that trouble out of the side. I've basically timed them up to where they're pretty in sync. So we'll watch it here. That one turned off. That one turned on. It's, you know, it's basically it's where it needs to be by the time I get over there. But if we'll wait for this one to deactivate and then we'll sit on it. Perfect. It is time, and then we'll go into third person or free cam. It's time to watch magic happen. So we just saw him spawn in, and then we'll wait for the interval to get done. I'm gonna come over here. It's gonna sit me there for roughly 14 seconds. We'll say around 12. As long as it's more than 10 seconds, that's all that really matters, and it's definitely more than 10 seconds, but perfect. We saw it activate. It's gonna bring me back over here. And now we're just waiting to see for these two to activate. Or at least one of them. That's what we're hoping. We want one on this side, one on that side, one on this side, one on that side. Okay, we didn't get any on this side through that loop. So maybe I need to extend it a little bit longer block-wise. That's good to know. This was working in perfect succession before I started recording, and now it is deciding that it doesn't want to work. Okay, so there we go. Do you want to be a good spawner? Yep, there we go. And then now go to the next guy. Perfect. And then I'm gonna need you to activate, be a good spawner, so all the viewers believe me that this is working. Ah, there we go, right before I left. And they're perfectly coming into the center here. They're going up and they're falling down. I'm gonna have to figure out something with these guys that aren't dying, but other than that, this is awesome. I am so thankful for the person that put this down in the comments. You genuinely saved me a lot of time and headache, because this was just driving me crazy. Sometimes I forget how massive my brain is. So it may look very similar, but if you notice, there's observers in there now. I have made some changes, so you won't be able to see it super well, but I kept the basic hopper clock in here, but instead, now I have a comparator reading out from this block, so it's constantly reading whatever the power source of this comparator is, and then from that, I have a repeater, so then it keeps this line constantly lit, and then it travels underneath the floor here, and it goes up to over here, and we got rid of the hopper clock over here, and so it's just two pistons pushing back and forth a block, and they're updating an observer that is right here, which is sending a signal to this repeater, and if you have it on 4 ticks, it's long enough to activate this rail to push you. So now they're all linked up to one timer, which is perfect. And it's been working great so far. I haven't had any issues. I also extended the killing tube, so now they go way up there and then they fall. Quite a few more blocks. Let's go up here and take a look. Bow. I was just having a lot of them stack up and it was becoming an issue, so I definitely needed to fix that. Now that we have the farm in working order, I'm gonna say it's working. Fingers crossed. I've done a lot of troubleshooting. I've done a lot of thought processing. I feel like we finally have it to a good point to where it's finalized. Final thing I need to actually do, though, to finish the farm is I need to... I don't need to make the sorting system because I kind of already have a design in mind. I just need to gather up the materials and build one. I have gone through and collected the materials, and you're going to be surprised. It's basically nothing. We don't need that many chests. We don't need that many deep slate bricks. We only need couple of those for storage, and I think we only really needed 12 of the deep slate bricks. I just have the extras because why not? We also don't need that many iron bars. So yeah, I think without further ado, let's jump straight into building this sorting system so we can start finishing the AFK room. All right, everybody. All jokes aside, you know, let's put them down really quick. I'm not that bad at redstone. I can do things by God. I can make things happen. Ignore these chests. They're filthy. Speaking of making things happen, I'll finish filling that hole in, but let's do it. Proper testing time. I have built this. Isn't it beautiful? It's super compact, a little sorting system. It's going to automatically turn the bones into bone meal for us and then into bone blocks. Maybe we can see it happen soon. Just need some skeletons to die for the bones to go into the sorting system. Oh, this is super exciting for me. This is 3 days in the works trying to get this to happen. First skeleton. He's gonna die. We should see the system activate. Why are you not flashing? Maybe it hasn't gotten any bones yet. Okay, there we go. Flashing. Okay. Oh yeah. Bone blocks. Oh, this is so exciting. Oh, I'm so happy. We have a triple skeleton spawner that's going to be giving us bone blocks. That's what I'm talking about, everybody. Now let's design this AFK room, and the beacon's staying. For anybody that thought it was going somewhere, I'm going to put... I don't know what I'm going to put on that beacon, but it's going to stay. I want it to be something that's there in the wall. I'm going to replace the majority of the wall with glass so you can still see it. But let's get to working on this room. Never mind, I lied. The beacon is gonna go because I want to put the nether portal down here and I want to have it up against this wall right here. Yeah, that's what I want to do because I'm gonna... Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. The beacon has to go. Sorry, everyone. But ignoring the beacon for now, I need some terracotta. And no place better to get it than... where are we at? This is the Badlands, right? I'm pretty positive this is the Badlands. Yes, terracotta. We're going to want some of this red, and we're also going to want some of the yellow. I think that will look nice. And I don't want to, like, it's going to be a really ugly room because I'm going to try. I'm going to try my best to make it look pretty, okay? Don't judge me yet. I have gathered up some basic materials, and it probably all looks like garbage right now, but you just wait until I start building. So I've mined the wall back 1, which is what I'm going to do with all of them. Just mine the wall back 1. Here's what I'm kind of thinking. No, not that. We do logs in the corner. And we're right next to a jungle, so it kind of makes sense. And then we're going to do... kind of something like that. Yeah. And then I'm gonna come back in and kind of zigzag. Oh, Not like that. Oh, I'm breaking too many blocks. Oh, I'm placing blocks in wrong places. Oh no! It's too much. The efficiency 5. Okay. Put that there. Let's put that there and put that there. And then come back in with yellow. Let's start here. So, no? Hold on. Yellow, yellow. Yellow, 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 yellow. Yellow, yellow? This is ugly. How do we feel about that? No, that's ugly too. I'm struggling because it's not symmetrical. Ooh, I think I kind of like that. And then on the shorter walls, we'll do red with the red sandstone. And then flop it back over to the white on this side. Ooh, yeah. I think I like that. Let me do the red on one wall really quick. Ignore the fact that that block right there is missing. How do we feel about that? Right? And then imagine if it was just duplicated. I think that looks pretty nice. Beacon is gone. It's time to fill in the space where it was at. We'll probably add something like a beacon down here again in the future, but I highly doubt it. We don't really need one for this farm. Alrighty, what do you think? I think it's not a terrible wall design. It definitely looks super flat, so we'll have to work on that in the future, trying to give it a little bit more depth. But now I just need to do the ceiling and the floor, and we will be done with this AFK room. Of course, I need to get rid of this atrocious cluster of chests right here, but we know the farm works, so that's good. This room is so bright. Oh, this room is so bright and ugly. It looks really bad, but to me, I kind of like it. Like, it just makes sense. Like, if you kind of like just process the floor, like the floor doesn't look great, but it doesn't look bad, right? And then like if you just process the walls aren't great, but they're not like terrible. It's good enough that we're literally just going to be sitting here going back and forth in a minecart. So, doesn't matter too much what this room looks like. And ladies and gentlemen, we've done it. I did polished tuff and jungle logs as support beams, but that's it. This is the AFK room for the triple skeleton spawner. So let's pop back and take a view. We have the AFK room, all 3 spawners and their waterways set up. That's funny. Glow squid. Hey, 2 glow squid. That's pretty funny. I didn't know that those would spawn in there. Then third guy, they all connect up. We have the bubble column that is going up and leading to the killing chamber. And then down here, we have the collection system and auto bone block crafter. And look at that, 87 bone blocks just within the time that I was standing here to make this AFK room. Oh man, this is awesome, and I'm so happy we got this done this episode. And now we have quick, easy access to it via nether portal on the roof. That is awesome as well. I thought I was going to clean these chests up and do something with all the items, but I'm lazy and I really want to see how well this farm handles an AFK session overnight. So I think I'm going to end the episode here. I really hope you guys enjoyed this one. I enjoyed every minute of getting to canoodle this triple skeleton farm and try to figure out the redstone for it to get it to perfectly be right. It was definitely an awesome episode for me. And I hope you all have a wonderful rest of y'all's day, and I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye.